Welcome to my next predictions video as we have UFC 307 right around the corner on Saturday, October 5th. Just going to give my predictions for the main card. And remember, as always, that the card is subject to change. And the card is in Utah, so that means the main event will probably end in a head kick. Leon Edwards, Justin Gaethje, who's next? But before I give my predictions, I just want to cover a few things. If you're a fan of the UFC and you like prediction videos as well as reaction videos and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on my predictions, any predictions you have of your own, any future fights that you want to see, future fight predictions, any fighters that you really like, any fighters that you really don't like, anything that you want to talk about, make sure you leave that in the comment section. And remember, I do react to fights as well. So about an hour after the card is over with, most likely I'll put my reaction to the main event, unless I get a copyright claim, which happened a lot on the last UFC 306. I had 3 fights that got copyright claimed. So a lot of times that happens if the fight goes to decision, but I had a long period where I barely had any. So I don't know what happened with the last card. Hopefully that's not an issue this time, but I never know for sure. But what happens if I get a copyright claim, I have to dispute it, and then it takes 48 hours from the time I dispute it and submit it for the video to be released, and they theoretically could block the video if they decide that, but none of my videos show anything crazy. I don't show the fights. I want to, but that would just be a whole mess. If I showed fights, I get claims all the time and strikes all the time. So that's why I don't. But I will post my reactions, and I'll put different videos at the end of this video with about 20 seconds left with my 2023 fight highlight reel right there. I'll put my reaction to Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira 2 right there. And I don't know what else I'll put over there and there, but I'll put some good stuff over there. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. So let's kick this main card off. In the middleweight division, we have Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Dolidze is kind of an older fighter. He's a good, well-rounded fighter. He'll occasionally go for a takedown. He doesn't hit it all the time, about 40% of the time. He's got some good strikes. He beat the GOAT, Anthony Lionheart Smith, in his last fight, which was not a fun fight. And then we have Kevin Holland, who has a lot of fights under his belt, and he's only 31 years old. I think Kevin Holland's getting better. He had that loss against Michael Venom Page, but Michael Venom Page is a different kind of fighter, a completely different game plan that it's really hard to prepare for because Michael Venom Page is so crazy in the octagon. But Kevin Holland's good with striking. He's good with submissions. He's got a really long reach advantage, the biggest reach advantage on the main card, an 81-inch reach versus a 76. I don't know if that's the highest reach on the card. It might be. I haven't looked at the prelims, but I think Kevin Holland's going to win this fight. I just think he's a younger fighter, which younger fighters don't always win, but I think he has more tools in the tool belt. Where Dolidze, I don't know. I guess I'm not really that impressed with him, and I don't see him ever going up. Like, he's going to just be kind of stuck as like a gatekeeper-ish fighter. So that's why I think Kevin Holland is going to win this fight, and he is currently the betting favorite. Next up, in the women's bantamweight division, we have essentially a number 1 contender fight or a backup fighter fight between Ketlen Vieira and Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison's been really good in her MMA career, other than one fight that she apparently didn't show up for. Well, she did, but she got beat. And then you have Ketlen Vieira, who's good. She loses, she wins. She loses, she wins. As far as like what she's really good at, she's good at jiu-jitsu. She's got some good takedown stuff. And when she shoots for a takedown, she usually gets it over 50% of the time. And we know Kayla Harrison is going to try to take you down all the time. And that's what she's really good at. Her bread and butter is the wrestling. She beat Holly Holm in her last fight. She finished Holly Holm in her UFC debut. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't give Kayla Harrison an immediate title shot right away, but I guess she wants to earn it. I do think that she beats Ketlen Vieira in this fight. However, I could see a scenario where Ketlen Vieira does pull this fight off. Kayla Harrison is the older fighter, and Ketlen Vieira does have a slight reach advantage, and she's good too. It's not like she's some slouch, but I just think that Kayla Harrison is going to win the fight. Kayla Harrison is a huge betting favorite right now in the fight, and that's why I think she's going to win. I'm not going to pick all the favorites, trust me. And then next up in the UFC men's bantamweight division, we have Jose Aldo, the King of Rio, returning to the octagon again. I thought he was probably going to be done after that last fight. I thought that was a one and done. Versus Mario Batista. Mario Batista is a very good young fighter. Well, young, 31 years old. He's had some good fights, some good performances. He's good with submissions, but he can take you down too. And he's got a little bit of striking as well, a lot of striking actually. And then, of course, we know Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is really good. He is the former champion in the featherweight division, and he is really good at preventing you from going for a takedown. He's going to throw some vicious leg kicks if he can, and he's been really good for a long time. He's a little up there in his career as far as age goes, in the twilight, 38 years old. Somehow, some way, I think that if Jose Aldo can stop the takedowns and throw some massive leg kicks, Jose Aldo is going to get the job done and beat Mario Batista. I mean, Jose Aldo wasn't supposed to win his last fight, and he won that fight rather convincingly, in my opinion, UFC 301, which I did not watch, by the way. But I think Jose Aldo somehow, some way gets the job done. I can be completely wrong on that. Right now, Jose Aldo is a slight underdog in this fight. I could see those betting odds shift to Aldo, though. But Mario Batista isn't that great, but he's got lots of potential, in my opinion. So I think Jose Aldo wins that fight in the bantamweight division. And in the co-main event of the evening for the Women's Bantamweight Championship, the champion Raquel Pennington versus the challenger and former champion Juliana Pena. I've never been really impressed with Raquel Pennington. She wins a lot of fights by decision, or she wins by split decision, or she gets submission. She has like 5 split decisions on her resume. She's good at boxing, but she doesn't have the punching power. Occasionally she'll throw a takedown, and usually when she throws a takedown, she gets it. And on the other hand, we have Juliana Pena, who looked amazing in that first fight against Amanda Nunes. They even started duking it out in that second round. She let Amanda Nunes empty the gas tank, and then Amanda didn't have anything left, and then she got her and took her back and then got her to choke and submitted the GOAT of the women's division, in my opinion. So in this fight right now, as it stands, Raquel Pennington is the slight favorite. She's coming off of the victory where she became the women's bantamweight champion against Bueno Silva. I wasn't all that impressed, well, especially with Bueno Silva. She should have looked a lot better in that fight, and she didn't. And Pennington was pretty good. I just think the same stuff isn't going to work against Juliana Pena. We know that Juliana Pena can box with you because she took Amanda Nunes' greatest shots. Granted, in that first round, Nunes had her on the ground for most of the round, if I recall. Of course, the second fight was a completely different story, and Nunes switched stances, which apparently threw Juliana Pena off. But my prediction is going to be Juliana Pena, which right now she is the underdog, although slight underdog. I'm just more impressed with Juliana Pena, and I like when she has a microphone. She says some cringe stuff sometimes, but I'm entertained by it. So I am picking Juliana Pena to win this fight and reclaim the bantamweight champion. And then whoever wins this fight will most likely fight Kayla Harrison, assuming that Kayla Harrison gets past Ketlin Vieira, which is not a foregone conclusion. She does have a way to lose the fight, but I'm predicting Juliana Pena to become the new champion. And then in our main event of the evening, which we know that this fight, based on our last 2 Utah cards, will end in a head kick knockout. This is in the light heavyweight division, the champion Alex Pereira versus the challenger Khalil Roundtree. Now, a lot of people are very confused that Khalil Roundtree is in this fight, and I get it. Ankalaev wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That's the reason. He's fighting, what's his name? I can't remember. The guy that just lost to Yuri Prohashka at UFC 300. The guy that, regardless of the fact, that's the fight we're getting now in Abu Dhabi, and barring any cancellation of a fight. And now we're getting Pereira versus Roundtree Jr. Khalil Roundtree could shock the world in this fight. He's not going to go for a takedown. At least, I don't think he's going to go for a takedown. Rakic was the guy. Alexander Rakic. It just came to me. He fought Yuri Prohashka, but now he's fighting Ankalaev. I would assume if Ankalaev wins that fight, he fights the winner here, but nothing is ever a guarantee. I don't know how many fights he has on his UFC contract, and he might just want to be done with UFC and go somewhere else. Who knows? I do think Alex Pereira is going to win this fight. I think he's a better fighter. Khalil Roundtree might be a little bit sloppy in my opinion. His last fight was against Anthony Smith, the GOAT. So Roundtree did beat Anthony Smith, which is a huge accomplishment because Anthony Smith doesn't lose to anybody in the UFC. But I think it's very possible that this could end in a head kick knockout. But I don't think it will. I think this fight's going to end in the first round, and it's probably going to be a hook from Pereira. Now, if Roundtree were smart, he would try to take him down. But considering he doesn't go for any takedowns, it's probably unlikely that that's going to happen. So who knows? We shall see. But I do think Poatan, Alex Pereira, is going to win this fight and retain the light heavyweight championship. So I am picking 2 underdogs on this card. Very close fights, which when the fight actually happens, the day of, they might be the favorite. So who knows? But hope you enjoyed these predictions. Again, if you're a fan of the UFC and you like reaction videos and prediction videos, and if you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on my predictions. How crazy am I? I'm picking Aldo win. The old guy Aldo can stop a takedown, so that's pretty impressive. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your predictions are. Any future fights you want to see, any future predictions you have, or any chit-chat that you have. Least favorite fighters, favorite announcers, least favorite announcers, best commentary team in the UFC, whatever you want to put it in the comment section. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.